The second 2017 Freeport Mayoral debate and the first opportunity to meet all the local candidates was held last night in Freeport, put on by Terry Muster of Jitterbug Events and assisted by the Chamber of Commerce and Highland College. Last night's event brought estimates of over 200 people out for the chance to meet and get to know the candidates running for local office. Over a few separate segments, we will bring you our coverage of last night's event. In the first segment, we bring you the candidate introductions. Each of the candidates of last night's debate had 60 seconds to introduce themselves. In this segment, we bring you those introductions. Over the next few segments, we will bring you the actual debates between Maida Ridgway and Brad Hartog for Freeport's Township Assessor, as well as between mayoral candidates Dave Fonda, Joe Cardoso, Jody Miller, and Mike Keister.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mark Farshtchi, and I'm running for the school board. I have some interesting perspective in this whole process. I have 3 daughters that have gone through the school district or are in the school district. My late wife, Melissa, was a paraeducator at both Lincoln Douglas as well as Center School, and we've befriended over 13 years many teachers, principals, administrators, and so it gives me a very unique perspective from a wide area and angle, as far as education goes. It's my hope that I can bring this multifaceted perspective to the school board to help bring the school into the new generation of teaching that we're seeing going in place here. And I look forward to having you vote for me on April 4th. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to try and make this fast because we only got 60 seconds. So I'm going to read a little bit on my personal profile so you know a little bit about me. I'm a lifelong Freeport resident, Freeport School District graduate, Highland Community College graduate, decorated Vietnam veteran, U.S. Air Force. I served in the Strategic Air Command and became an instructor. Worked in and managed large retail stores in Illinois and Wisconsin for 39 years and retired at the age of 55. I was employed by Freeport School District 145 at Center Elementary School for approximately 9 years. I retired in June of 2016. I'm currently a volunteer with Freeport School District 145, working at Center Elementary School, and received a great deal of training in business and managerial skills through the company as I work for. One thing I wanted to ask you to do tonight before my time runs out, so there's a website that you need to go into and look. And it's called IllinoisReportCard.com, and it gives the operating performance of District 145. And maybe some of you have looked at it, but I would bet most of you haven't. It's an easy to read. There's a lot of information in there on all different areas that the school district is performing. And what you need to do when you get done reading that is ask yourself, what type of level of performance school district do I want and expect to have? Do I want an underperforming school district? Do I want a straight line average school district? Do I want an above average school district?
Thank you very much, sir.
IllinoisReportCard.com.
46 years as an employee of the Freeport District. Lyle Reedy hired me in 1970 to teach physical education at Carl Sandburg. Over the next 36 years, I taught not only at Sandburg, but at the junior high and the senior high. And I retired in 2006, but I didn't quite want to leave the school district yet. So I substitute taught at Freeport High 2 or 3 days a week for 10 years. I think with 46 years, almost half a century, that should bring some classroom experience if I was elected to the board. Several things that I'm interested in if I was elected would be classroom discipline, increased vocational training, counselors in every elementary school, and trying to persuade parents, all parents, I guess I'm done, to be involved with their kids.
And I believe I have the experience it takes to be a valuable asset to the Freeport School District. I've lived in Freeport all my life. I graduated Freeport in 1982 and resided here ever since. In 1986, I began working for the Freeport Rural Fire District as an EMT, and now as an ambulance driver. And I also serve on the Cedarville Fire Department, and I'm running for the board because you see I have a strong desire to serve this community Thank you.
As she said, my name is Ryan Shirley, born and raised here in Freeport, Illinois. Attended all Freeport schools the entire time. I graduated in 2002. If some of you are familiar, I ran for the school board a couple years ago. I didn't quite make it, a few votes short, but this time I still have the same passion from a couple years ago. I have kids that go to school in the district. Again, being from Freeport, I have a special interest in just kind of playing my role and giving back. So as far as me being on the board, just looking forward to bringing a fresh perspective to it. And I look forward to your vote on April 4th.
Shirley Brashaw. I'm running for my third term for 6th Ward Alderman. That is the central ward in Freeport, the hospital ward. We serve FHN, Ferguson Cancer Center, Orchard Hills, and basically the business district from the junior high all the way south to Yellow Creek. I work really hard for Freeport. I started out as a planning commissioner appointed by former Mayor George Allrath. And then I served as a housing commissioner for 6 years for the city of Freeport. I was appointed my first term for city council, 6th Ward, and I enjoyed it so much I had to run for election. All kidding aside, being an alderman is a lot of work for Freeport, but I would do anything for this city. I love Freeport, and I'm all in.
Peter McClanathan, running for 2nd Ward Alderman, and 4-year priorities in 60 seconds. First, implementation of the city manager. We're well along in that process, and we're working on it, and we want this to be as smooth of a transition as we can have. 2, infrastructure, water and sewer, as well as roads. Water and sewer is an issue that's been growing for the last 30 to 40 years in a variety of things. We need to address it. We have to address it. On the roads, we need to make transportation a priority in this budget this year as we go forward, and we'll make progress on that because the motor fuel tax only covers about half of what we need for our funding on that. Economic development, we need to work with our economic development partners. An example like we had last night where we went through and passed a resolution in support of residential expansion of the enterprise zone. Those types of things we need to work with collaborate Freeport. We also need to work in our neighborhoods. The ways that we need to work in our neighborhoods are aggressive expansion and working on our demolition to reduce blights, as well as also not waiting until we get to the demolition stage by working on enforcement of the existing codes that we have, increased and working on the inspections across the board. It eliminates the bad apple part, and it also helps support the good apples in the area. The last thing is public safety. We've increased funding for the police in the last couple of years, so we need to work on creative and innovative solutions going forward with the police. Sorry, I'm at 60 seconds, but that's what
And now running for Freeport Township Trustee, Melinda Cook.
I'm Melinda Cook. I'm running as a Democrat for Freeport Township Trustee. I grew up in Freeport, and I returned when I had the opportunity to teach at FMS. I taught art for 6 years before choosing to retire this year in order to pursue my art career as well as explore other opportunities for community involvement, such as this. So I chose to run for Township Trustee because I've really struggled with how many local offices, local elections run unopposed. There was a seat opening up for a position on the Board of Trustees, and thought I'd run. There's also often very little representation by multiple parties, so this doesn't feel the most democratic unopposed elections. So here I am. Also, most importantly, I think people of my generation need to run for things, get involved, and not just comment about it from the sidelines. So vote for me.
Hello, my name is Joy Sellers. I am no relation to Pat Sellers. I am a lifelong resident of Freeport. I am married to my wonderful husband, Roy Sellers, for 26 years. We have 2 adult sons. I have served as a township trustee for almost the past 4 years. My goal as a trustee has been to hold township accountable in the areas of being a good steward of our tax-paying dollars. Being more transparent when conducting our business and ensuring the best possible service for our clients. During the past 4 years, I have seen some impressive things come out of township. We have a balanced budget. We have a high level of transparency, and we strive to provide programs and services to assist our clients to becoming more self-sufficient. I have allotted invested in this community. If I am once again elected, I will promise you that I will serve Township Trustee to be more dedicated and passionate in helping Freeport move on. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Greetings, everybody, and good evening. My name is Andra Taylor, and I'm running for Freeport Township Trustee. And my mission is to add value to people through collaboration, innovation, and servant leadership. And I've been with the Freeport Housing Authority for about 9 years now as a public servant, as a servant leader. And I have a unique set of skills. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I can bring those skills and that experience that I have into the Freeport Township so I can help to collaborate different services, to be more effective, to extend our reach, to have a greater impact. I have a lot of experience with technology, and there's certain techniques and information that I can bring that help transform the taxpayer dollar, to have a greater impact. And so Freeport all in, collaborate Freeport, vote Taylor for Township Trustee. Thank you.
I'm Doug Block. We get 1 minute to make a first impression here. I went to Leonard High School and I graduated from the University of Illinois, the College of Aces. I'm a 45-year experience with a dairy farm out south of Pearl City. With my brother and I've been 12 years on the school board, and I'm currently running for the Highland Community College Board of Trustees, which I've served the last couple of terms. My career in agriculture has taught me several things. One is the value of education. The second thing is the value of reality and where we're going. And so I've learned the importance of education. We must match our educational opportunities to what our businesses are calling for, and we must give our citizens in this district the full realm of educational opportunities that they need. Our experience on the board is the reality check has been, we've been able to decrease some of our expenses while expanding our educational opportunities and actually increased our enrollment. So my plea to you is, if a lot of people say, well, can you walk the walk, can you talk the talk?
I am Pennie Groezinger. I've been in the business community for 30 years, working in human resources, customer service, and the credit department. Growing up in Davis County and as a graduate of the Highland Leadership Institute, I respect and truly value hard work, determination, and the importance of working together for the success of all involved. 27 years of employment with Pearl City Elevator Management Team, I understand the value of matching skills with what businesses need. And Highland is doing just that. Programs like the nursing program, criminal justice, hospitality, CDL driver program. Employees with strong business skills can be the key to successful businesses, and Highland recognizes that and is responding with successful skills-based programs. With your support, I look forward to working together with the Highland administration to build, to grow, and to develop more opportunities which will help continue to build strong businesses and strong communities.
Hi, I'm Steve Jennings. I taught at Highland for 42 years. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm just delighted to see the number of students, former students who are here. Good for you guys. And if I don't recognize you, come up and say hi anyway. I'm really glad to chat with you. I have an earned doctorate in business from Northern, so as a result I taught in business management and business law for all of those years. And indeed I miss teaching. I'll be glad to be back teaching again. Highland has done a number of good things. We've got one of our programs here tonight. Jim Yeager's back there in back directing this mass media, and I don't know how many of his people are here, our students, but good for Jim. It's one of our new programs. We've got a number of other new programs. We've got a thing called Mechatronics, which is basically a combination of machinery and electricity. We've got another program in hospitality, which is the hotel, food, drink stuff. And we're creating more nurses by the bunches, it seems like, for this kind of facility. So we're really doing quite well. I'm very happy with all that. I'm running for my second term. It'll probably be my last one, getting old. And so I would appreciate your vote in April. Thank you. Good evening, my name is Ken Collin. I'm running for a 6-year term as Park District Commissioner. Now I'm going to speed read for 55 seconds. I am currently serving my 14th year as Commissioner of the Freeport Park District and also currently serve on the Board of Trustees for the Illinois Association of Park Districts. I recently served as Chairman of the Board in 2016 for that organization consisting of 458 members. I'm a stakeholder in the collaborative Freeport and I'm very optimistic and impressed with the enthusiasm that's being generated from this initiative. When I was elected 14 years ago, I set 2 main goals for myself. One was to remember that the board is a steward for the taxpayer dollar, and to remember that when I'm voting on a spending proposal. The other was that when I left the board, that the parks were as good as, if not better than when I was elected. A few of the significant enhancements that were made in the last 14 years are a new maintenance building in Creek Park, master plan update to Creek and Reed, walking paths, bridge across Yellow Creek that provides access to Twin Caves and Flagstaff Hill, new bathroom in Great Park, this is winterized and family bathroom, Green Park, quadplex baseball fields that draw many tournaments, the Little House Field, collaboration with Malcolm Eaton to create sports back south of town.
I'm Adam Otero, running for Park Board. I grew up in these parks. I have so many memories benefiting from the benefits, the resources that these parks have to offer. It's truly one of the unique jewels of Freeport. It's probably part of the reason I became an Eagle Scout. It's probably part of the reason I ended up spending a few months teaching outdoor education in the mountains of Hawaii and in Wisconsin, and then working with the YMCA over the past few summers, teaching outdoor education to our local kids. And as I talk to them and see what they're interested in, what experiences they're having, they're not getting the same benefits and resources that I had. I'd like to see if I can change that. Half of them don't know some of my favorite parts of Freeport. I'd like to see if I can speak for those parks. Thank you.
Set, go. My name is Barbara Burns and I'm running for Township Clerk. I am running on a post which I'm really sorry for because I think we need to get more people involved in our electoral process and in the community. And I'm hoping after the 4 years, I will not be running again, and I'm really hoping that we get new people coming in and running, younger people as well as older people. It's not that difficult of a job, but it is fun, and I really enjoy it. So please get involved. I'm so glad to see so many of you here, and we're very refreshing. So please stay involved and get more involved. Thank you very much.
Running for Freeport Township Supervisor, Patrick Sellers.
I was running for Freeport Township Supervisor. This will be my second term. Thank you, Joy, for taking everything I was going to say. I already know what to say. We've done some great things over the last 4 years. We have a lot more work to do. Over these last 4 years, we've lowered our levies, we've lowered our budgets, and we've saved your township over $514,000, put us in the black. I believe in empowerment, not entitlement. Our clients earn what they get from us, and there's an expectation that we have on them that they are to move themselves from poverty to productivity. Only have 30 seconds left, and that's all I'm going to say, so please vote for me on April 4th. Thank you.
Next, Odessa Walker.
Hello, my name is Odessa Walker. I am running for the Freeport Township Supervisor. My family goes back here 6 generations. My great-grandfather, great-grandmother came up here from the South. My parents are here. We are here. My children is here, and my grandchildren is here. I believe that you can be successful in Freeport. You don't have to go anywhere else. So if you vote for me for Freeport Township Supervisor, I will bring accountability, integrity, and collaboration. That equals favorable results. Again, my name is Odessa Walker. Vote for me April 4th, Township, Freeport Township Supervisor.
Running for City Treasurer, Linda Buss.
I'm Linda Buss, your current city treasurer, and I've had the honor and privilege of serving you for 24 years. I'm proud that I've been able to accomplish thus far, and I look forward to accomplishing many more things in the future. I am a graduate of Highland Community College, a business graduate of Western Illinois University, and a graduate of the Highland Community College Leadership Institute.
To better serve you, I am pleased to say that over the years I have had extensive training and became certified as an Illinois Municipal Treasurer, a Municipal Finance Administrator, a Pension Trustee, Retirement Coordinator, as well as a Public Funds Investment Manager. As a result, I would like to continue working for you with the honesty, integrity, and professionalism I bring to the office. Therefore, you will see my name on the citizens' ballot on April 4th. Thank you for your time.
Hello, this is Pennie Groezinger. I'm probably the most junior person here. I moved into town when the recycling program started. I was one behind that. So if you don't like the blue bins, you blame it on me. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, generated one of the largest yogurt distributorships, experimented with frozen yogurt back in the early 70s, got drafted, ended up in Washington, D.C. I'm a Vietnam vet. During that period of time, I acquired my master's in financial management from George Washington. I worked for IBM as a financial analyst. I worked on the radio room at the Trident sub. I was a controller for a while, and I had contracts in Iran, believe it or not. That brought me back to the Midwest, brought me back to Freeport through the recycling program, did a little bit of work at the city. Now I'm running for the treasurer to solve some more of its problems. Thank you. Time's up.
Hello, I am Debbie Anderson and I'm running unopposed for city clerk. I'm originally from Scales Mound and moved to Freeport to attend Highland Community College. I have 2 grown sons. I will be drawing on numerous skills from many varied life experiences when fulfilling the city clerk's position. I have worked at Fairgram, who provide engineering services to the city of Freeport. From that experience, I attained a good handle on municipal lingo. I was also a legal assistant at Plager, Krug, Bauer, and Rudolph. The legalese I became familiar with there will be useful when developing ordinances and resolutions. I realize there will be a learning curve, and that's why when the city contacted me to serve as deputy city clerk, I jumped at the chance. I will have 4 months training before being sworn in as your city clerk. Please vote for me in April. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm running for mayor because I believe our new mayor and this new era or chapter that our great city is entering into will need to understand what is required and is ready to serve our community. We need to create some chemistry between our mayor and our constituents. There are many areas of our city that need attention. I'll give you my top 3. Infrastructure. Infrastructure included, but not limited to, water and sewer, streets, bridges that haven't been used in years, and city-owned property. Safer communities. Continue to support our police and fire. Make sure they have the resources they need to serve us better. Community policing and programs such as Conversations Over Pizza are also vital in making our community safer. We need to create a business-friendly atmosphere. Residents should feel like the mayor's door is always open for everyone at any time. Businesses are tired of hearing, "No, you can't." We need to start saying, "How can we help?" This is just a few reasons why I'm asking on April 4th you vote Andrew L. Crutchfield for mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is John Staven, and I am running for the part-time mayor position. However, I see it as a full-time mayor's position. I'm going to give up my business on my other job and become your full-time mayor for a part-time wage. The 3 things that I want to do is, number 1, provide the support needed for the city manager to succeed. If the city manager can't succeed, we all pay the price. That's job 1. Job 2 is public safety. The mayor should have the time to go out and meet and greet and deal with the community and work with the community and the police department to make it a better community. Number 3 is economic development. I plan to take myself, go out and market the city of Freeport. As a full-time mayor, I'll have the time. I'd appreciate your vote on April 4th. Thank you.